all the way back as he pushes away from aim, but they've got to regroup and back out, and Crims only has 16 HP from that first exchange. The spray went both directions. Remember, he got the kill, but look at Glaive, caught in no man's land. If that peek came over, he's got nowhere to hide. He's going to spot the gun. Oh! A misplay from Glaive. Those shots should have landed, and Twist has opened up the door for Fnatic because it's a 2 versus 2. And they're both on the B site. It's Device alone. Kjaerbye's not there. He's got the high HP, but he has an AWP. He's missed shots. That could have cost him. It does. What a shot from Crims. Fnatic in the most magical way are pulling it back, but look at Kjaerbye. Right time, right place. And Astralis
You kept on calling her phone.
Survive for the time being. In the meantime, First seems to be going for it, pulling rotation now, and now the retake potentially on because they won't know where Fox is coming from. You see Neo just creeping, and he's only got a pistol for running more distraction, and now Fox, he knows where one is. Oh, but look at Patch's angle. Look, he's got the perfect angle, but now he's fired a shot. What's going to happen? There goes Fer. Instant trade for the Virtus Pro side, and they have indeed robbed SK of a round that should have been theirs all day long.
That is such a crazy round. First of all, you have Pasha basically trying to perform heart surgery the way that he's very meticulously cutting holes into the defense here of SK to allow his team to thread through the blind spots. And then
And the rest.
30 seconds. The time is starting to play a large part in this one, putting the pressure onto VP. If there wasn't enough pressure on them already, finding Cold, taking him down out the balcony. Important play, setting up the plant now as SK Gaming are forced to respond, but they can take their time. It's a fresh plant. Fallen, though, he's found a position to work off of. There goes Fallen around the corner. What was that? Fallen finds a headshot out of nowhere, and still Taco's left alive, and they seem to know where Pasha is at this point. And there it is. Taco finds him. Pasha goes for the peek. And that is going to be the defuse here. What an incredibly tense situation.
Seacole's dad's well into this. Great to see him at Columbus, and he's here again. Lots of family.
He's playing a far angle. He's hoping desperately that he can play this to time, and he can line up the shot, smoke on it. Olaf's going to hold this. Olaf's going to hold this. Glaive's off.
No.
Olaf's got it. 2 seconds. Olaf's got it to overtime. What an incredible play from the world's former best, and he shows it again. Ninja defuse for overtime. And Fnatic, their hearts have to be sunk at this point. Again, they had this game in full control, 15-15, and all bets are off.
It seemed so perfect from Astralis there, baited him out. Device staying alive as long as possible, but Crims...
Actually be taken down, but did he do enough damage? Perhaps not. Garley's back in there, and now it is going to rest onto Taco. Onto once, Fallen gets himself 2 in a row, leaving just Neo.
Ooh, it's so tight, but he can't find the angle. Spots it, but Neo, how have you done this? Taco in connector. Does he know where Taco's coming from? He's holding Yangle very, very tightly indeed. Taco to crouch pig. It's not good enough. He dinks him down to AHP, but Neo survives. Maybe the most iconic man in Counter-Strike, delivering for his side in the first round of overtime. Let's not forget, both these teams bought 2 AWPs in the first round of overtime. That is an all-in play from both sides. Only one will be successful.
Anyway, look, you know, Fnatic, we'll get back to talking about those in just a minute, but let's talk about Astralis. We've already said, you know, Glaive, in-game leader, he's really transformed the team. Let's talk about him as an individual, you know, because you guys seem surprised by some of his fragging performances. I've had lots of people hitting me up on social media saying they think Glaive could be one of the best fragging in-game leaders in World Counter-Strike, if not the best. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize is when Glaive played in Heroic, this underdog Danish team, which was really making a name for themselves, they were breaking in the top 10, they were beating the Astralis and Dignitas of the world. In that team, he was not the in-game leader. He was actually a
Pokemon, right? Like before our eyes.
Thing is, though, what I want to know is how Virtus Pro is still doing this. This is like the team.
You can see they're up for it, boys. They are.
It helps that they have the whole crowd behind them.
No, but Virtus Pro is like the team. They're like the gang in the Hollywood movie, right? That have one last job they have to do. Yeah. Promise the last job is winning the second major, so they're just never splitting up, apparently.
Well, look, who's to say it can't happen? Who's to say it can't happen? I mean, look, so where do we go from here? You know, Virtus Pro going to be feeling good, but it was still an incredibly close game.
I think you put V. I mean, the tough part is obviously the next map being Cabo. We'll talk about that in a second. But
once again onto Fallen. Taco on a UMP. Loads of grenades though for the CT team. But again, they are currently at the mercy of Virtus Pro, who are looking very dangerous early on in this series.
All right, so VP, again, a team that loves to mix up the pace. It's going to be slow, it's going to be fast, always going to be keeping their opponents guessing in that sense. Already a couple forward smokes there, as you can see on the A side, making things a little bit harder. And in fact, it is affecting the positioning of SK Gaming. They're sort of expecting maybe a forward play. And that's how they've adjusted right now. And so there's a window of opportunity here where VP can capitalize on this positioning. Oh, the flick!
Man.
That's absolutely phenomenal there from...
Reminds me of Cobblestone back in the day on public servers. Always people in the tower.
There's always one guy there. Doesn't care if his team loses a round, just to stay there the entire time.
If you look at the average...
You were that guy, weren't you, James?
If you look at the average rounds, it's probably always because someone in the tower. Cold Zero though, looking for the damsel. Oh! Snax escapes like a rat through a tiny hole. 2 rounds, SK. You are causing such pain, heartache and stress to your fans. Done a great job to get this far, all things considered, but how far can you go? The answer still remains to be seen.
Apparently, before they decide to go for the push, and that's what they should be doing soon.
Fox has collected the AWP, but rather than use it himself, he's thrown it over to Cold, who's looking for a pick towards the B bomb site. This might be related to an execution play, or maybe they just like give Cold the AWP. Who knows? You'll see what they can do with it. Virtus Pro have early advantages, but that free's fallen to command the rest of his side. They're all on the same site. We've got 2 Virtus Pro players deep. Pasha's got a nice angle. Taz can run distraction in the meantime. Can he get the high ground now? Oh, sprayed down through the box. There Pasha goes, but Taz is still delivering here. 2 more to find. CT rotation surely coming in. More headshots. Taz is wrecking house. 4 kills for him on the buy round for Virtus Pro. That is a huge reaction.
You kept on calling her phone. No wonder she never called back. You saw the message she wrote me low key. You want your whole back. I get respect from the OGs.